Hello everyone, this is Wenjie Chao. In today's video, let's talk about some admin features in the landmark locations. Here is just an overview of what admin can do. In the rest of the video, I will use a demo to show you how to do each of those actions. Let's switch to the landmark locations. I'll use Washington DC as an example to demo all the admin features. Let's tap on the list of landmarks. Here you can see 16 landmarks, but if you're a regular user, you won't see this many, because anything that has a popularity 20 and below will be shown as pending approval. So for example, this airport thing is pending approval. Let's take a look. If you scroll all the way in, you can see this is a tower at the Washington airport. But clearly the location is wrong, because most users will think the tip of the satellite image is the center of the tower, or they probably think here is the center, but that's wrong. The center of the tower should be at the bottom in the satellite image, which is kind of tricky sometimes because the bottom is hidden somewhere behind here. So the marker here we shared is the correct location. We can just select this marker, set as the scene location. Then pay attention to this pencil button on the top. This pencil button is the admin only feature. If you press and hold on this pencil button, though the red dot change and also the message says location is updated, which means the location has updated from this wrong location to the correct location. You can press this button again to reset the location. If you press again, now the landmark went back to the original location. So whenever you do this press and hold, make sure pay attention to the message below. Only if it says location is updated, that means the location is set to the correct one. Now let's take a look at this pencil button here. We can tap on that, where you can give a new name for this landmark, and also the target height you can set. You can also deactivate this landmark if you think it's not appropriate to be public. Now let's select famous landmark here and demo to you some of the camera location related features. Select this United States Capitol, and we found 14 locations. If you tap on that, you see all the locations has no name. Probably not a good idea, because if people see this coordinates, they have no idea what they are. One thing the admin can do is to give them proper name. You can select this one and pay attention to where it is. So this one is next to the Washington Monument. You can tap here to give a name. Let's say next to Washington Monument. Another way to do that is you can simply just select any markers so that you can see the subtitle has this. Then you just press and hold on the subtitle. The press hold on the subtitle will copy the text, but in the case if you have a camera location selected, the text will be pasted into the camera location name. So take a look. Down. Here it says Washington Monument Ground. Maybe that's a better name for this location, so you can tap here as well. Just press and hold. Now if you take a look at the name of the location, it has a Washington Monument Grounds. Go back to the list, it has a correct name now. So let's do it again for the second one. Well, sometimes if you switch to normal map, you can see more data. It's the Netherlands Carilium, so I can just tap and just press and hold. That copy the text over here, but this is actually too long, so I'll probably delete the extra text. Alright, here we go. So now we have two camera location correctly named. Whenever you rename camera location, do not rename it based on the landmark, because all the camera location here are related to the landmark. Just name where it is exactly. So next to a river or next to a memorial, those kind of names. That would be easier for our user to tell where it is. Towards the end of this list, there are also some pending locations. You can take a look and see if it's okay to make it public. So for example, right here, let's see. Yeah, this location is clearly okay to be public. So if you want to make it public, you just tap here, say that name as Norn, then submit. Now if you go back to the list, you can see this one become public. You can also approve it right over here. You just don't know where it is, so it's better to go back to the map and use this button to prove a camera location. If a camera location is not okay to be public, you can click this deactivate button, and that will delete from the list. Camera location can also be adjusted. To do that, you just set a camera pin on top of that. Then if you drag the camera pin to someone else, press and hold this pencil button, then the camera location will be updated to over here. It's kind of hard to see, but if you switch to normal map, you will see it. It's right here. And if you press and hold again, they will be reset back to their original location. So same thing as a pencil button on top. So next, I will show you how to merge two name marks. People often submit name mark at the wrong location. Again, like in this case, there is a name mark right over here. If you click here, you can see there are two name marks. The first one is the correct one, which is the center of the building. Then there's another name mark right here. And look at what people did when they submit a name mark. You can see from satellite view, that's the center of the antenna. So people think that's the center of the building. That's wrong. And people do that all the time. Look at popularity. So how to correct this? So the correct way to do that is you tap, see the list, then you just select them all. Then you do this merge. And only enemy have this function. And once you do a merge, nothing will change right now. But if you go back and you click here and press and hold, now it's refreshed. You can see there's only one name mark now. And if you select here, you will see all the locations. This is better than just to simply delete the wrong name mark, because in this case, all the camera locations that are associated with the wrong name mark will be merged automatically into the correct name mark. That's better than delete the wrong name mark. So by the way, you probably noticed what I'm doing earlier. There are two places that you can press hold to refresh the data. First one is you can press and hold on this message, and in which case it will do a refresh from the server to get all recent name marks. And if you select the name mark, you can also press and hold here to do a refresh. Now, once you have the locations, you can press and hold on the locations to get a refresh location as well. So if you do that, so you can see it's get updated as well. This feature is available to everyone, but for most users, it's not very useful because they're not changing the name mark data anyway. But as admin, you often change the value of those name mark or camera locations. If you want to notice the information from the server, just remember to press hold on these two places. Generally speaking, it is okay to make any name mark public, but for camera locations, admin should be very careful which one to be public. Here are the list of locations that I will not suggest to be public. First, of course, private properties. Do not trespass to any private property or prohibited area. Some rooftop locations, if it's not a public one, do not make it public. Also, some conservative area for either animals or plants, do not enter those zones. Next, hazardous locations, for example, unstable terrain near the cliff, or some potential rock slides or avalanche area, or in some high traffic area like a crowds. It's okay to go through the crowds, but do not stay there to take pictures. The next, environmentally sensitive area, for example, a very fragile ground cover or some dedicated geologic features. In American Southwest, there are many areas like that. Do not step on, drive through those areas. Next is some potentially has a community impact. For example, disturbing local residents. Many plant users shoot at night. Think about for yourself that if you live in this area in the middle of night, like a group of people gathered and starting shooting photos and making all kinds of noise, that's definitely not very pleasant. That's why we should be careful not share those locations. Next is a security concern. For example, if you're next to the military base or some FBI governmental facility, the security guards in those facilities might feel you're suspicious, could put yourself in danger. That's it for the admin features. Thank you for watching. See you next time.